Hello, welcome to the Spotlight Show. I'm your host, and my name is Jabez Napoleon Ogbole. So excited to be with you on this Sunday afternoon. And of course, depending on your time zone, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Why? Because we have viewers from across the globe watching us right now. So remember, we are live right now on the GBKM app. So if you haven't downloaded the app, go to App Store or Play Store, depending on your device, and download the app, GBKM. We're also live on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, go to our website, www.gbkm.fm. You can see our live programs, previous shows and current shows, of course. Thank you so much. So remember, we are broadcasting live to you right now from the studio of GBKM in the city of Toronto, of course, in the country of Canada. How are you doing? I hope you are well. I hope you're keeping safe. And I'm glad, of course, this show is made possible by viewers like you who on a weekly basis, monthly basis, continue to subscribe and share our videos, to keep educating our people all across the world. Thank you so much. And of course, special thanks to our sponsors from the African Young Entrepreneurs with their e-trust fund platform. Check them out, www.ayeonline.org. And of course, Imani's Place, www.imanisplace.org. It's a shelter for women. And thanks to Pan-African Arts, Culture and Trade Institute, www.pakati.org. Of course, Daniela Corporation, based out of Canada in Alberta. Thank you so much. And of course, Top Pro Consulting, who powers these shows on a weekly basis. Thank you so much. Check them out, www.toppron.ca. They are the leaders in IT training and certification. Whatever career aspirations you may have, you require mentorship, why not go to them? All right, guys, what is today's topic about? Today's topic is very interesting, and I hope it's going to interest you as well, because I have been informed, with this topic today I'm going to share with you, and it's called, which is more powerful, a vaccine passport or your passport? It sounds very, very funny, though, but that is the world we've seen ourselves, with the advent of COVID-19 since the late 2019s into 2020. We saw a lot of restrictions and lockdown. A whole lot of things have happened, and I'm going to quickly go into that to see, depending on what part of the world you are, which country passport you may hold, if you are a dual national, which country's passport you may hold, and how powerful are they when compared to some of the new, options that's coming up in terms of traveling, because right now you can't really travel without a negative COVID result. And of course, in some countries, when you land, you have to be isolated for a couple of days. But all that is about to change so that, tourism can go back to a whole lot of countries, so many countries that depend on tourism, and so many suggestions and so many things is being discussed online, on the internet, all over the world. So if you be paying attention to the news, definitely you know that right now COVID-19 is a big deal in every part of the world. I don't know which part of the world you are, but we are coming to you from Canada. We have been home for 2 years, guys. A whole lot of businesses have been closed. Only those business deemed essentials actually are operating right now, even on a very minimum capacity. Initially, there was it was all about lockdown and restriction. People was like, "Oh, come on, man, we have we have our own freedom as well." But to minimize the spread of this vaccine, that's how it all started. And of course, the issue of treating and managing people with the infection came about. With that became the talk of town. How do we manage all these sick people? How do we make sure that the spread is contained? Then, of course, we started to talk about 5G. I don't know if you remember now. That is like an old story. But back in 2020, there's so many talk about 5G being the cause of the pandemic, or the origin of the pandemic coming from China, etc. And of course, overnight, that is no longer the case now. And now, vaccine came out. Thanks to, science, vaccine was actually rushed, and, treatments are ongoing right now, and people have been vaccinated across the world. Then obviously we have the issue of logistics. We in Canada, we're doing very well now, but initially we're not at the forefront of vaccine because we had logistics problem. And of course, the ability to acquire the vaccines was a challenge. If we could have such a challenge in Canada, you can imagine some of those countries that are considered third world, how difficult it's been for them to even get vaccine to their citizens. And of course, after the vaccine came out, what was the other discussion? Who gets the vaccine first? Is it the younger ones or the older generation? So COVID-19 has been an eye-opener, for a whole lot of us, and it's changed the way we live. Just like how terrorism with 9/11 changed the whole world. The same thing, COVID-19 has changed the whole world. A lot of business are online right now. And of course, there is the new issue right now that people are debating. Yes, if you know what I'm talking about, is in the topic. And of course, you guessed right, it's the immunity or vaccine passport. How effective is this going to be? Because I want to take a look at some of the issues that is going on across the world, those who are in favor, who are against this, and, what's the origin of all this. And that's, it's not from me. I'm going to show you an image right now so you can see what is happening across the world. Several news media outlets have been carrying these stories, So if I share that image with you, you can actually see that what the, what the temperature is right now with regards to this particular vaccine passport. Okay, guys? So I'm going to share with you what it's a vaccine passport. So look at some of those news. These are all Canadian news outlets, and they're telling you, UN agency is talking about it. There's pressure on Canada as well to introduce it, and of course, people are trying to travel, and a lot of countries are trying to minimize the spread of this virus, because a whole lot of them have been able to do so even before the vaccine came about. And now that we have the vaccine, a whole lot of people may not want to be vaccinated for various reasons. And there's so much talk about this new vaccine passport. What is this? It's an immunity passport or a vaccine passport. It's also known as an immunity certificate or a recovery certificate. So basically, it's a document. It could be in a paper form or a digital form, which means it could be digital, through the phone or through apps, etc. What it does is that it's attesting that the person's name on this particular certificate is immune to this contagious disease. So it could be immune based on vaccination, or it could be immune because such individual actually had the infection and the immune system was able to fight it and recover from it. Now they have natural immunity. But we don't know yet if the vaccine passport is going to be for those people who have tested positive and now they're not negative, or if it's those people who have actually taken the vaccine. If it's just the first dose or the complete dose, we don't know yet. But these are some of the news going around that how this has become very, very important. So one thing I need to point out, guys, is that immunity passport is not the same as a vaccination record. No. Okay? Vaccination certificate actually prove that somebody has received a certain vaccine verified by medical record, okay, of the clinic where the vaccine was given. So remember right now, a lot of you may not know, but if you travel to some part of West Africa, or no, let me just say Africa as a whole, because I'm not really sure if it's just West Africa, you need to get vaccination for yellow fever, you need to get vaccination for, malaria fever, different things, and a whole lot of immigration actually requires those vaccine certificates. And I'm being told this is actually different from the from the COVID-19 vaccine passport. I don't really know why it should be different and what the aims of some of these government agencies are. But we will get there, okay? So it's been argued that the primary difference is that vaccine certificate actually incentivize the individuals to obtain vaccination against the disease, okay? While immunity passport incentivizes individuals to get infected with and recover from a disease. That is just, this is not from me. This is what I could find out about this vaccine certificate. But remember, the concept of immunity passport has drawn a whole lot of attention, during the COVID-19 pandemic. And, as a potential way to contain the pandemic and permit faster economic recovery. These are some of the pros for advocating for this kind of passport. This could include a health passport for people who have been either vaccinated or otherwise developed immunity by surviving COVID-19. So it's two-faced, but we don't know yet. Anyway, so the news is not just in Canada only. I'm going to share another image with you so you can see that this is a trending topic all across the world right now, and I want to really dive into this to see what is the importance of this vaccine passport and how relevant is it when compared to your own country's passport. Because if you are traveling, why do you need a passport? Passport gives you, enable you to move across the world, because in every country there are ports of entry, and they need to make sure that you are permitted to enter that country. And a whole lot of passports are very powerful. Why? Because they give you access to so many countries. Will vaccine passport do that? I don't think so, because a vaccine passport is very different from an immigration passport. But yes, look at some of the news. Even Japan, to issue vaccine passport. We have UK, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of UK, recently with the G7 meeting, he's been pushing for, vaccine passport. And not only that, look at vaccine passport are here. So why are there still so many travel restrictions, man? I don't know about you if you're going to get the vaccine passport, because what I've studied and found out is that it's totally different from your vaccine certificate. Because normally when you get a vaccine, be it for malaria fever, some of those diseases that I'm aware of, you need to get vaccinated against. You just get like a card, a paper card that you show to immigration and tell them that, like, I've taken this particular vaccine, so that way I'm going to prevent the being infected with those kind of disease. But I believe that vaccine passport is beyond this, and I don't know the agenda behind it. Okay, guys, let me share some information here with you. Some of the stuff that big agencies, like World Health Organization, have been saying about this passport. The first one says that according to World Health Organization, in April 2020, they say that at this point in the pandemic, there is not enough evidence about the effectiveness of antibody-mediated immunity to guarantee the accuracy of an immunity passport. So this is last year from World Health Agency. They've said that this vaccine passport cannot guarantee the accuracy of one's immunity. For example, the research published in April 2021, just a few months back, shows that the Pfizer vaccine effect lasts for at least 6 months. So if I take the Pfizer vaccine, maybe in the first quarter of this year, actually it takes 6 months for it to become effective. So you can't really give me a passport and say I'm immune to COVID, because it takes that long for my body system to adapt to the vaccine for it to be able to fight any of those infections should I be exposed in future. So these are some of the discussion that started with World Health Organization. Then obviously they said due to imbalance in the distribution of vaccines in the developing world, there are concerns about the inequity of immunity passport for travelers. The western part of the world seems to have vaccinated a good portion of their citizens, but what about the nations considered the third world? So are you going to say that they can no longer travel because their countries have not been able to, get enough vaccines or afford enough vaccines to vaccinate a good portion of their citizens? These are some of the, loopholes in some of these proposals. And apart from that, recently, again, in April, the World Health Organization Emergency Committee opposed immunity passports, saying that states parties are strongly encouraged to acknowledge the potential for requirements of proof of vaccination to deepen inequities and promote differential freedom of movement, which is true. What do you think? What do you think? Because there are some people that will never get vaccinated. It's against their culture. It's against their religion. So are you trying to say that now those people cannot really move around, even though they have a passport that gives with a visa to a specific country, and you're not saying because they don't have the vaccine passport they cannot move? So this is why we're trying to look at it. Which is more powerful? Is it a vaccine passport or your country's passport issued by the immigration? So we're going to go into that definitely, and we see. And finally, many countries may increasingly consider the vaccination status of travelers when deciding to allow them entry, or whether to require them to isolate or quarantine. Some sort of vaccine certificate will be important to reboot travel and tourism. This is according to Dr. David Nabarro, a special envoy on COVID-19 for the World Health Organization. However, February this year, countries experimenting with or seriously considering vaccine passport include Aruba, which is in the Caribbean, Britain in Europe, Israel in the Middle East, and of course our country, Canada. These are the countries who are really pushing for vaccine passport. And I don't really understand how effective this is, because before the vaccines came out, people were traveling. You need to wash your hands, you need to wear your mask, you need to be very cautious, you need to give social distancing, you need to quarantine. Now that there's vaccine, a whole lot of people now may have immunity against this vaccine. Why are they still pushing for this passport? I don't know. But we're going to get there, definitely. So we shall see how this call for vaccine passport is going to play out in the nearest future, and we're going to take a look at the most powerful passport, and if you carry any of these passports without a COVID-19 vaccine, what is the impact? So we're going to go on a quick break, guys, okay? When we come back from the break, we're going to share with you some of these powerful passports. And you be the judge. Do you think that with this kind of passport, you will be denied entry to certain countries because you don't have the vaccine passport? Okay? Or maybe you have been vaccinated, vaccine passport, for instance, because people have the right to. Okay, or maybe you've had the infection, COVID-19 infection, you recovered. Now you're good. You've not been infected, in the last couple of months. So how will that differ? We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to look at this powerful passport and let's see which passport you hold, how they rank. Thank you so much. Do not go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
My name is Karo, and I'm currently a project coordinator. I took the project management course. I learned a number of things, one of which was interview skills. I learned about the Agile framework and how that's very different from the waterfall model of project management.
At Top Run Consulting, the key unique area that we try to focus on is not to just impart certification knowledge, but the application of real-world tools.
Back in June 2017, I did the business analysis course at Top Run. I learned the basic and advanced skills and tools to be successful in business analysis field.
All right, welcome back. You are still on the Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Jabez Napoleon Ogbole is my name, and I'm very happy that you are still with us. And if you're just joining us, definitely welcome. And of course, this show, the topic for today is which is most important, which is more powerful. Is it a vaccine passport that is being proposed by few countries, or is it your nation's passport, depending on which passport you hold? So thank you, and of course remember to like, subscribe, share on YouTube, and download the GBKM app, so that way wherever you go you can always watch our live broadcast and of course our past shows and upcoming shows. Thank you so much. So we're back from break now. I want to go straight to how powerful is your passport in the post-pandemic era. So we believe that by this time next year most countries should be back to normal, at least in the Western world. Of course, in the developing countries, I don't know how true that is, because, same thing we said last year, and all of a sudden we're talking about second wave and third wave, and we don't know if there's a third or fourth wave, but that is what it is. So we're going to take a look at the global passport ranking. A new ranking just came out, 2021, guys, and I'm not joking. There are some passports that are so powerful that I wish I had those passports. You know why they're so powerful? We're going to talk about it on this show. But first of all, how did this ranking come about? The historical data spanning 16 years. So we have what they call the Henley Passport Index. The Henley Passport Index is the only one of its kind and is based on exclusive data from International Air Transport Authority, IATA. The index includes 199 different passports, okay, and 227 different travel destinations. And this is updated quarterly. The Henley Passport Index is considered the standard reference tool for global citizens and sovereign states when assessing where a passport ranks on the global mobility spectrum. So definitely what this ranking is doing is, with your passport, where are you able to go? There are some passports that can't really go in a lot of places, guys, But there's some passport, for some reason, they are able to go into a whole lot of countries. And I wonder why. It could be the economy of the country, or you just be that, these are free nations. Or it just be the wealth of the country. Who knows? But that is left to you to decide. So yes, these are the rankings. You can see it on this image right now. And this is very, very important, guys. Why? The rankings are based on the visa-free score of a particular country. So what this ranking means is that your passport, without a visa, how many countries can you enter? Okay. A visa-free score refers to the number of countries that a passport holder can visit without a visa on arrival, or by obtaining an electronic travel authorization, guys. So those days of I'm from Africa, and my country of birth is Nigeria. We trying to go to Europe or America. There's so many documentation and appointments you have to make. But there are so many passports right now in the world that citizens of this country with that passport, they have access without any visa, or maybe with just a travel authorization, they can enter many countries. And of course, without considering the constantly changing COVID-19 restriction, guess whose passport is the most powerful in terms of visa-free? Yes, you're right. It's Japan. Japan. Who would have thought? My mind would have gone to US. I would have thought, because the amount of noise that comes out from America, leaders of the world, they control most of the media across the world and social media platform. I thought their passport was going to be powerful. But no, Japan. Who would have thought that Japan has the most powerful passport in terms of being able to enter a whole lot of country without a visa? Wow, this is interesting. Okay, so Japan firmly holds this position as the country with the strongest passport for the fourth year in a row. I didn't even know for the last 4 years. So this is 2021. So we're saying that since 2017, this passport has been the strongest. This position is based on exclusive data from the International Air Transport Association. Okay, IATA is one that regulates the travel, the travel industry. With Japanese passport holders, they are able to access 193 countries. Wow, 193. How many countries are there in the world? I think like about 200, over 200. wow, I didn't know Japanese passport had that much, you know. So if you're a global traveler, you like to travel, Japanese passport, one of the, one of the passports you should definitely have. It actually helps you from being able to, bypass all those straight visa application process. All right, guys. Apart from Japan, the next country is Singapore. Singapore can enter 192 countries without a visa. Wow, who would have thought? Then Germany can enter 191 countries without a visa. They are number 3. Number 3 as well is South Korea. South Korea can enter 193 countries without a visa. Wow. Followed by Finland, 190 countries without a visa, same as Italy and Luxembourg and Spain. Then Austria and Denmark can enter 189 countries without a visa. Man, these countries have some very powerful passports. I'm very curious. I'm sure you are curious as well. I want to know how many countries can Canadian passport or American passport get access to without a visa. And I have that here actually. The United States and UK jointly share the 7th position with a visa-free score of 187 destinations. Canada, Mexico, and Brazil are number 9 on the list. And so Canada is number 9th, Mexico is number 23, Brazil is number 17. Collectively, they are able to go into, Canada can go into how many countries without a visa? And Mexico as well. Man, who would have thought that Canada, Mexico, and Brazil passport is very strong as well? Of course, with American passport. So those areas, they rank the same. And this is very, very interesting, guys. I don't know if this makes a whole lot of sense to you, but it's been very, very informative and educative to me as well. Guys, so these are some of the most powerful passports. So now let me ask you a question. If I have a Japanese passport and I have access to 103 countries, and I do not have a vaccine passport, are you not trying to say I no longer have my freedom to move about? Because these countries have given the passport access without the need for a visa or maybe electronic authorization. So I think definitely we have to take a look at this, because at the end of the day, are you trying to say now that the vaccine passport, takes more importance than any of these countries' passport? I don't know. We shall see, because as we saw previously, Canada, UK, Israel are some of the countries advocating for this vaccine passport. And I just think that, there are so many ways to combat the vaccine. I mean, it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. We don't know. I'm not the expert. I'm just here to share the information, guys. All right, guys. So we're going to go to the next image, and let's look at the countries with the least with the least powerful passport in the world. When I say least powerful, I'm talking about traveling. How many countries they can access without a visa. Okay, guys. And of course, you can see on the image, Afghanistan can only access 26 countries without a visa, which is still good. They are the least. Iraq can access 28, Syria 29, Pakistan is 32, and of course Yemen is 33. Wow, Afghanistan can access 26 countries. I wonder what countries those are. It's there for you to find out what countries those are and see for citizens of Afghanistan and see what country they can access. Apart from that, what I haven't shared here is some of the African Caribbean countries. I actually have that as well to see where they rank. So the latest report indicates that the gap in travel freedom is now at its widest. Because a whole lot of citizens with some passport cannot really access a whole lot of countries. There's a whole lot of restrictions on their movement, so they really need to get prior authorization, such as a visa or travel authorization, to access some of these countries. So the gap is getting bigger, and this is what this report is saying. Why? Because Japanese passport holder can access 167 more destinations than the citizens of Afghanistan, who can only access 26. That's a big gap. So holders of Afghani passport and the Japanese passport, the gap is so wide where they can travel to. Who are the biggest gainers? So over time, this index can make a big impact, and in the last decade, countries like China and UAE have been the biggest mover. China passport can actually go to more countries unlike before. So China has risen by 22 places in the ranking since 2011, and from a visa by going from a visa-free or visa on arrival score of 40 destinations. So before they could access 40 destinations, now they can access 77. Who knows why? Maybe it's because of their work in Africa or all over the world. The Chinese is a big economy now, so definitely their citizens to be able to access more countries without the bureaucracy or trying to apply for visa. So that's why they've jumped up, and also UAE has gone up as well. So the UAE in 2011 was ranked 65th with a visa-free score of 67 destinations. Today, of course, thanks to what's happening in the Emirates and Dubai and co, for them to strengthen diplomatic ties with countries across the globe. They are now ranked 15th with a visa-free score of 174 destinations. Wow. So if you have a passport from UAE, you can access 174 destinations. Oh wow, that's huge. That's huge, guys. So like I said before, I actually have another report here. Let's talk about some African countries. Which African country do you think? I'm not going to share any image with you. I'm just going to tell you this, okay, guys? Which African country do you think has the most powerful passport in terms of having visa-free access to a whole lot of countries? Yeah, you guessed right. It's Seychelles. Seychelles is actually ranked 61 across the world. And their passport rank is actually 61, and they can access 91 countries. Followed by the island of Mauritius. Of course, South Africa is 48. They can access 82 countries without a visa. Botswana can access 68 countries without a visa. And in Africa, which country is considered the least powerful? Can you guess? Yep, Somalia is the country with the least powerful passport in the whole of Africa. They can only access 34 countries. They are still better than Afghanistan. Afghanistan is the bottom of the list, maybe because of the civil war or some of the things going on there. I don't know. But that is Africa for you. And let's go to the America. I'm very curious about the Caribbean, our Caribbean brothers. How powerful is their passport? And of course, in the Americas, the most powerful passport is Canada. Canada beats American passport now, guys. So no wonder there's a whole lot of influx of people coming to Canada. Migration is booming right now in Canada, and I heard that the government is about to even allow more people into the country. Okay, Canada seems to be in America. Canada is the biggest because they can access 130 countries. So you have a Canadian passport, you can go to 130 countries without a visa. So no more excuse. Go on that vacation. Okay, guys. I was telling my producer, it's about time you take a vacation. He has a Canadian passport, so now you can go to 113 countries. I don't know what those countries are, but I know a whole lot of good countries can be accessed visa-free with a Canadian passport. Of course, followed by American passport. Okay, and when we talk about our Caribbean brothers, Barbados is one of the most powerful passport in the Caribbean. It can access 97 countries. Bahamas, 93 countries. Antigua and Barbuda, 90 countries. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 88 countries. Costa Rica, 88 countries as well. Trinidad and Tobago is very powerful passport overall. It's ranked 57 and it can access 87 countries. Okay, St. Lucia can access 84 countries. Panama passport is good as well. It can access 84 countries. And of course, let's see which in the Caribbean or in the Americas, which passport has the least power in terms of how many countries it can access. Can you guess? Yes, it's Haiti. Haiti is still okay. They can go to 45 countries without a visa, guys. So this is very, very important, guys. And I hope this information is very, very impactful to you and be very beneficial. So now you know how your passport ranks. Oh, why don't we go to, I won't end this show without talking about Nigeria. Nigeria, my country of birth. Let's see how many countries the Nigerian passport can actually access. So Nigerian passport, wow, 69 passport power rank. That's good. 69. So which means they can access 44 countries without a visa. I'm very curious to know what those countries are. I know a bunch of them are probably be in Africa because of the ECOWAS. We have free movement there. So definitely I'm happy. I'm happy for them. I know things will get better. We are a Nigerian passport, of course, is more powerful than South Sudan, than Congo, than Libya, than Ethiopia, Eritrea, and of course Somalia. Those are the countries' passport that in Africa, Nigerian passport is stronger than. And of course, Ghana passport to our neighbors in Ghana. The Cameroon passport can access 49 countries. It actually has more power than Nigerian passport. And, so this is very, very good and very, very important. So I'm happy that, we've had the opportunity to actually review this information together today. So yes, thank you so much. And I hope you've been blessed by this show. We've come to the end of the show. And I want to say thank you so much for your, continuous support, for liking, subscribing, and sharing the video. Of course, if you have questions, you want to be on the show, send us an email, spotlight@gbkm.fm, guys. I'm very, very happy, to work with you. If you have a business idea, you're looking for partners and investors, why not reach out to us, spotlight@gbkn.fm. Yes, let's help us promote your business. Let's talk about that business idea or that service you've been thinking about. It's about time you try to monetize your skills, your gifts, your products and services, guys. So thank you so much. We'll be back same time next week, Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Remember to go to our website, www.gbkn.fm, of course. And remember, you can be whatever you want to be in this life, okay? Be a positive force, and let's build ourselves. Let's unite, okay? Build your home, your community, wherever you may find happiness it's your home. Participate in local politics, in community development. Help one another, guys. That's what life is all about. Today we are in this earth, tomorrow we will not be there. So guys, remember to be your brother's keeper and your sister's helper. Like I always say every week, start thinking of that business idea. Multiple streams of income is still the best way to go. We all wake up every day trying to make a living, because no one just wants to sit idle or be homeless or be redundant, or be useless. Everybody wants to make an impact, and this is why I say, okay, good. If you are willing to make an impact, multiple streams of income is gone. What is good. We don't want the next generation to start from how we started. Let us pass some wealth, some ideas, some power onto the next generation, so that way they can be impactful as well. All right, guys. So remember, network with like mind. Okay, your network determines your network. Trust me, guys. If you're always networking with gossipers and noisemakers, you're gonna be one of them. Okay, if you want to be a millionaire, network with like minds. Okay, guys. They say iron sharpen iron. Okay, you can't get rubber to sharpen an iron. Okay, guys. So remember, provide a service, manufacture a product, and of course, let's make huge impact, guys. So I'm going to leave you with this statement. Okay, guys? So we'll see you next week. And remember, you're always in the spotlight. The change you seek begins with you. Good night.
Welcome to ZFM's exciting summer program. Last year, the children learned awesome ways of making animation videos. Let's give you a sneak peek of what the children learned last year. This year, we have some exciting programs for this summer. The first program is the cartoon character rigging. This program will teach the children about basic shapes, character designs, character refining, flexi binding, and lots more. This is where children bring their imagination into reality. The program starts from July 5th to July 22nd, and the programs are in 3 phases. The second program is the Kids Coral Draw. This is where children learn how to explore their creative minds by using the software to learn how to draw. The program starts from July 26th to July 29th. Details and registration links are on the flyers. Zoom ID will be sent after payment and registration. Hurry up and register quickly for these exciting programs before the seats are filled up. See you there. Hi, welcome to ZFM's exciting summer program. Last year, the children learned awesome ways of making animation videos. Do you want to be your own boss and make income or extra income with flexible schedule? Welcome to Keenan Courier. Keenan Courier works as a marketplace platform connecting customers who need something delivered with drivers that are willing to serve them. Courier with any vehicle, better trip allocation, and cash out your earnings whenever you want. Download our driver apps today to sign up. Do you want to be your own boss and make income or extra income with flexible schedule? Welcome to Keenan Courier. Keenan Courier works as a marketplace platform connecting customers who need something delivered with drivers that are willing to serve them. Courier with any vehicle, better trip allocation, and cash out your earnings whenever you want. Download our driver apps today to sign up.